Good day, everyone. May I have the pleasure of presenting to you our research paper entitled Utilizing 2C, 2I, 1R as a self-directed learning approach for grade 11 logic. At the outset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the education sector was faced with the daunting question: will education and learning continue amidst this health crisis? Colleges and universities, as well as basic education institutions, have all migrated towards flexible learning options to mitigate the effects of the pandemic to education. The next question that followed is: can learners learn on their own? Ambrose et al. Pointed out that learning is something that students do for themselves rather than something that is done to them. Shang 2012 further supports this concept by saying that learning is a relatively permanent shift in actions brought about by practices and hands-on routine. The difficulty of learning in this new normal scheme in the Philippine setting is aggravated by the fact that Philippines rank last among 58 countries in mathematics and science as per the report of the International Association for the Evaluation of Educational Achievement in 2019. Cohan et al. Observed that there are at least six identified barriers or possible problems with self-directed learning. It is the information overload, lack of focus on learning, communication barriers, inadequate writing skills, inadequate coping skills, and heavy workload. That being said, even before the COVID-19 pandemic hit the Philippines, the Department of Education, by virtue of its regional memorandum number 233 series of 2016, have already spearheaded the use of 2C, 2I, 1R as a pedagogical approach to classroom setting. This pedagogical approach is lifted from the provisions of Republic Act 1053-3, or the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. The acronym would stand for constructive, collaborative, inquiry-based, integrative, and reflective pedagogical approaches. The discussion of these concepts can be found in our full paper. That being said, this study wished to identify the problems of the students in learning logic as a subject in general mathematics and propose how 2C, 2I, 1R as a teaching approach be utilized in self-directed learning. The researchers made use of a descriptive evaluative research design to identify the problems met by learners in the learning of grade 11 logic in terms of instruction, learning materials, monitoring, and evaluation. Moreover, this design was also determined the acceptability of 2C2I1R as a self-directed learning approach in the teaching of grade 11 logic in terms of constructivism approach, collaborative approach, integrative approach, inquiry-based approach, and reflective approach. Furthermore, the researchers evaluated the significant difference of the problems met by learners in the learning of grade 11 logic when grouped according to demographic profile, as well as the significant difference of the acceptability of 2C2I1R as a self-directed learning approach in the learning of grade 11 logic. 155 respondents were selected from the 258 senior high school students officially enrolled in the locale of the study, a private college in Lucena City, the Philippines. Furthermore, the researchers utilized a self-made questionnaire consisting of three parts. The first part determined the demographic profile of respondents in terms of sex and academic strand. The second part intended to identify the problems met by the respondents while learning grade 11 logic. And the third part intended to assess the acceptability of 2C2I1R as a self-directed learning approach in the teaching of grade 11 logics. Results showed that there is no significant difference on the problems met by learners in the learning of grade 11 logic in terms of instruction, learning materials, monitoring, and evaluation when grouped according to sex. As to acceptability of the self-directed learning module patterned after 2C, 2I, 1R, results showed that it is acceptable in adequacy, coherence, appropriateness, and usefulness. Conclusions. In terms of the demographic profile, more girls answered the survey and 50% of the respondents are STEM students. There is statistically no significant difference in the problems met by learners in the learning of grade 11 logic when grouped according to demographic profile. It is accepted to create a learning material in the format using 2C, 2I, 1R pedagogical approaches. A self-directed learning module was crafted and proposed by the researchers to help students towards a better appreciation and understanding of the topic of logic. Allow me now to show you the cover and initial pages of the self-learning module that we have created and utilized. As of now, the said module is being evaluated for use in the different senior high schools under the Lucena Diocese education system this coming school year. That ends our presentation. Thank you very much. Have a great day and keep safe always.